On 6 p.m. Prime, and this is a horrifying one that's come to light in the city of Bengaluru. You won't believe the details that have emerged of the death of a 9-year-old girl, Manya, in her home, in her apartment complex, one of the most famous ones in Bengaluru, a Prestige apartment. Manya was there and had left from her residence to go into the swimming pool to play with her friends. And she wasn't going swimming. She was there playing with a ball with all of her friends close to the pool. To catch the ball, she jumped, fell into the pool and died. Obviously, there are a lot of questions of how this was possible, how this happened. Here's what we know so far. The investigation is underway. There are several allegations coming to the fore from residents of the apartment, from her own family, saying that she didn't drown to death in the pool, that she actually was electrocuted to death. And if that is the case, this is another instance of criminal negligence that's come to the fore. Serious questions being asked right now of the Prestige management or of the apartment authorities. The Bengaluru cops have confirmed that they're investigating this particular case and haven't at this point revealed yet whether it's a case of drowning or electrocution. But a 9-year-old life snuffed out, and as heartbreaking as it really gets, because this happened in the safe confines of her apartment complex.
ಸರ್ ನಿನ್ನೆ ರಾತ್ರಿ 8:15 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಒಂದು ಮಗು ಸ್ವಿಮ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ಪೂಲ್ ಹತ್ರ ಆಟ ಆಡುವಾಗ ಬಿದ್ದು ತೀರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ ತೀರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣಗಳೇನು ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಪ್ರೆಸ್ಟೀಜ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅವ್ರನ್ನು ಮತ್ತು PPMS ಮತ್ತು ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿರೋ ರೆಸಿಡೆನ್ಸು ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇನ್ಸಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ 10 ಅವರ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಇನ್ನೂ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ರೆಸಿಡೆನ್ಸು ತುಂಬ ಕೋಪವಾಗಿ ಗಲಾಟೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಪ್ರೆಸ್ಟೀಜ್ ಟೀಮ್ ಬಂದು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು, ಅವ್ರು ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವ್ರು ಈಗ ಹೇಳೋದೇನೆಂದರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಕಾಲ್ಗೂ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲರೂ ನಾವು ವೆಯ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ. ಎಲ್ರೂ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಮಗುನ ರಿಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾರ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲೂ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಇದು ನಮ್ಮ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್. ಈಗ ನೋಡೋಣ ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೋ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ವೆಯ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಾದು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ ಸರ್, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
We take this across to Anaga Keshav, who's joining us live from Bengaluru with more details. This is truly heartbreaking, Anaga, what's been reported in this apartment. Here's a girl who was playing with her friends in the apartment complex, and this kind of an incident occurs. And there are serious questions about whether it's a result of negligence, whether this young girl was actually electrocuted to death in the swimming pool. Anaga?
Well, Akshita, in the father's bite that we just heard, that is Manya's father, Mr. Rajesh.
We're going to play that out in a bit, yes.
That when the child was inside the swimming pool, she was electrocuted. There was an electric shock. People tried rescuing her using wooden chairs and wooden sticks, but despite that, it was a life risk for those who were trying to rescue Manya as well. So at the end of the day, they could not rescue her, and she has died because of an electric shock, is what we heard from Mr. Rajesh. But as of now, as we speak, Akshita, the report is still not out. It is going to be 24 hours. In just 2 hours from now, it's going to be 24 hours since the tragic incident happened. But till now, there has been no report, no post-mortem report or any confirmation from the electric inspector. But what we are hearing from the residents is that it was a case of electric shock. The Prestige Lakeside Habitat sprawls over 100 acres. It was built in the year 2024. It has been 10 years. Why was there no maintenance checks that was being done by the management is a big question. Any apartment, that is more than 10 years old needs to get its orders in check. There should have been proper checks, given the fact that there were 3,400 plus luxury apartments in that sprawling villa built 10 years back. Why was there no proper checks that was being done by the management that houses thousands of residents?
No, obviously at this point there are questions being asked, and the cops haven't divulged exactly what led to Manya's death. So we still don't know if it was drowning or if it was electrocution. But there are details, scary details that are emerging of exactly what happened. And I want to play out for you now. Let's cut across to our next news break coming in on the story. We've actually spoken to the father of the victim. Obviously, this is an extremely difficult time for the family. But they are speaking out with one reason, saying we want justice. We want action to be taken. Now, Manya's father alleges that she was electrocuted to death, that wooden chairs and sticks had to be used to actually pull her body out of the pool. And if that was the case, then that essentially establishes electrocution. I want to play out for you the father's reaction.
Having the shock, some people have tried to help her But then because of the shock, they could not help. By the time they pull in the wooden stick and also wooden chair, the damage happened already. And we got to know that somebody had to switch off the MCB. We want justice to our kid. We want to know, so far there is no action being taken yet. And we want to know what is the root cause. And we want to know who is responsible.
How heartbreaking is that? I want to also bring in Nabila Jamala on this story. Nabila, tragic really. I mean, God gives strength to that family. Yeah. The 9-year-old girl, after falling into that pool, she wasn't swimming, she was playing next to it, fell into the pool. Yeah. And the father says they had to use wooden chairs and sticks to actually pull out her body. The cops at this point aren't actually confirming any of this. 24 hours on, we still don't know what happened.
Well, this is precisely why the protests by the residents in that society, Prestige Lakeside Habitat, is quite a prestigious apartment society. In fact, Prestige Group itself is a very prestigious builder, developer, and we believe it's Prestige's management that's handling the maintenance of that property. So the onus will lie on Prestige management at this point, if at all it is a case of electrocution, and that's what the father has said. He says the girl was playing, the child was playing by the pool. There were 2 other children with her. The ball fell into the pool. She went to pick the ball. As her hand touched the water, she was electrocuted, fell into the pool directly, and they tried as much as they could with wooden sticks to really fish her out because they were all scared. Touching the water would mean that people who were trying to save her also would be in danger. So it was really a sad state of affairs there to try and get that girl, recover her from the swimming pool, rush her to the hospital. We believe at the hospital they declared her brought dead. So for the last 10 hours, we hear that the family members and the society members are asking and demanding for answers from the management, the Prestige management, who takes care of the maintenance there. So far, there has been no confirmation of electrocution, but the family believes that this has happened even 10 days ago with another child. We believe another child, and we might get a testimony from the mother itself, touched the water, touched some electric point and had received shock. They complained quickly to the management, and at max they just changed the light and taped it.
So they didn't bother
didn't actually get to the root of the problem. And it's mandatory for any management to ensure that their centralized gas lines, their pipelines, water lines, electricity, current lines, all of that should be periodically checked.
Correct.
This is what you pay huge sums as maintenance for at the end of it.
And at the end of the day, it
could happen in any apartment. It could have happened with an adult or just about anybody, you and I, standing by the pool.
It's going to make parents also think twice about sending their kids alone to the pool, to a play area within your own apartment complex. How common is that? And in such a circumstance, you've had this kind of an incident also coming to the fore. Thanks very much, Nabila. Yeah. We'll be getting a resident in just a bit. But I want to also take a look at some of the questions we're asking here on India Today. The first most basic one is whether this is a death resulting out of negligence. Was this because, did Manya play with her life because of simple negligence and apathy by the apartment authorities? Did they merely not do a basic check when complaints were filed, as Nabila pointed out, despite the fact that there were already complaints that there was shock and current that was going by in that particular area? So was Manya actually electrocuted to death in the pool? Did she touch the water and immediately die, or was it a case of drowning? The cops are yet to confirm. Why is the apartment management right now silent on the incident? There's not been a single statement that's emerged so far. Residents also say that they've not received any sort of comment from the management just yet, so they have no idea either what's happened. Now, is lack of maintenance to blame for the death of young Manya? Did they not ensure the required checks and balances were put in place, particularly in this kind of an area where little kids were playing? And was there a lifeguard present? Was there adequate security present around that pool area? If this was a case of drowning, was it that she wasn't saved in time? I want to take this across also to a resident of this very society, Preeti Kumari. She is a neighbor of victim Manya. So please do accept my condolences, Preeti. And I know how difficult a time this must be and how scary it must be for you as a resident to know that a little child died in that complex because perhaps of negligence. Can you tell us what you've heard about this incident? What exactly happened to little Manya first?
Yeah, so around 7:30 p.m., she was playing with her friends and she went to pick up the ball which went in the pool. And it's very common here because I mean they were playing in the common area and the ball went and she went to pick it up. She touched the water. She had a shock and she fell down in the swimming pool. She there is no case of droning as such. I am not sure why that. I mean, you guys are hearing about the droning, and yeah. So this is what has happened. After that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Go ahead.
After
Go
that,
ahead, Preeti.
after that, when she was inside the water and she was unconscious, somebody tried to pull her out, but they couldn't because of the current. They couldn't pull her out. Whoever was going and touching her, they were also getting shock, and then they had to they have to put off the MCB to take her out. So the delay has already happened, and I mean, of course, whatever has happened now. But before this also, I have a daughter. She's 22 months now. When I shifted here to PLH, I shifted here just for my daughter because there are amenities and play area and whatnot, so-called whatnot. So they, that time she was just 15 months old. She was playing there, where I mean, just 20 meters away from where the incident has happened with Manya, and she went to pick up the ball, and there are footlights, and she got shock from the footlight. And the nanny who went and protected her, and just imagine, I'm on 21st floor. I get a call that Didi niche aa jaiye, just come down, shock has happened. I rushed to the hospital, and doctor said, you have to just monitor your kid. She was just 15 months. She can't tell what happened. And I believe that was, yeah. And so this has happened in May. I mean, this one more incident has happened in May. We have raised the ticket to PPMS. PPMS is the body which maintains the society, and it is from Prestige Group. We have done this, and there are multiple people who have reported such incidents where, and the worst part is before yesterday, day before yesterday also, people have faced shock in the pool, and they have gone and told to the security. I'm not sure why the ticket was not raised, and it's not just that it has happened yesterday.
No, can you just focus on the point a bit? You're saying that 2 days ago there were residents who had complained about this in the pool, that there's incidents of people getting a mild electric shock.
Mild. Yes, you are right. Mild. It was mild.
Okay, and they complained.
Yes.
So, and no action was taken by the management. No steps were taken.
No, nothing.
Okay. The reason, Preeti, we're talking about drowning here is because when we spoke to the police, they said that this could be drowning or it could be electrocution. We haven't received the final report to confirm that. 24 hours on, have you received any communication from authorities, from the apartment management, from anyone?
See, the point is, people whom we are trying to reach out from Prestige, nobody has come. But yes, the reports are there, and you can hear the father as well. He has told about what exactly has happened, and of course the postmortem and everything is done. So yes, that death has happened because of electric shock.
Has there been any communication to you, to the apartment, kind of saying this is what has happened and we take responsibility as the management?
No, this has not happened yet. This has not happened yet, and that's what people are fighting for.
Preeti, as someone who lives now in this complex, as someone with children, as you said, are you worried? Does it scare you that something like this happened meters away from your home in the same complex where your kids go out to play?
Yeah, as I said, it happened to my daughter, 20 meters away from where this incident has happened. Everybody is scared. Everybody is scared. But, I mean, even though, when it happened, we raised a ticket. It was raised in May. It was raised in September. Was the management waiting for this? What has happened yesterday? So that they will do something? And you can come and see that there are a lot of open wires, and they actually, since morning, what they were trying to do is they were trying to tamper the evidences. They were just covering all the open wires with mud. Is it going to work out? So this is what is happening since morning.
Okay.
So I'm not, being a parent, I don't think so I can send my child downstairs.
Okay.
Even if, of course it was Manya. Unfortunately, what if 10 people were swimming in the swimming pool? All 10. all 10 together, right?
So the pool was empty when this happened.
Yes. The pool was empty. Generally, the pool is filled, but because it's a holiday season, a lot of people are outside, and the weather, the temperature also is not.
Yeah.
I mean, generally
No, I
people
can't.
don't
I
get
can't
that.
honestly imagine. It's so heartbreaking that a 9-year-old girl has lost her life in this manner. The casualty count could have been much higher if people were out there swimming, because obviously in these apartment complexes, the pools are used by residents so very often. Little kids
Yes.
go out there and swim on their own because you believe that it's safe. It's your home. This is a
Yes.
complex that you've,
Yes.
I'm sure, paid a lot for, Preeti, to be able to live in, because you believe it's safe for you and
Yeah.
your family.
Yeah.
And you pay a maintenance, yes?
We pay huge maintenance. I mean, I think this is the most expensive apartment. This is what I can say. And what we get in turn, I mean, even though we have complained, I mean, I am the proof. I have the tickets. I have raised it to the management, and they came. I mean, when this happened with my daughter, I'm bringing this point about my daughter because people have to listen that this happened before also.
No, I
And when
agree.
we said, when it was a small incident happened with a small toddler, they could have come. It's not just one footlight. It's not just one thing to check. You have a lot of footlights, you have a lot of light poles, you have so many wires which are just dangling
No,
around, and
completely agree. And these are the
nobody cares.
basics. These are the basics of maintenance. There's a lot of complaints that are filed, but the most basic of safety, of ensuring that the complex is safe for little children to go about on their own, for adults to walk about, because you call this your home, that's not being
Yes,
taken care of. And you're telling me,
yes,
you pay a huge amount as maintenance,
yes.
and yet
We pay a
nothing is
huge
ensured.
amount. And if you come and talk to a lot of parents here, 50 to 60% will come and tell you, we shifted here for amenities for our kids. Each and everybody, if you come and visit the society,
Yeah.
that's what everybody. And there are a lot of people who were in the protest. They were saying that I am leaving this day, I'm leaving the other day. I mean, few people see, nobody has the courage to live here right now with what has happened.
Are you rethinking your decision as well, Preeti, as a mother who's
I
seen this happening to your child, and what's happened with little Manya now?
Yeah, of course. I left Kormangla, I came here, which is like very far from the city, just for my kid. If the kid is not safe, then there is no point to stay here. There's no point. Definitely I'm going to move out.
You're going to move out. All right,
We are
Preeti.
going
And
to move out.
I think that many families,
There are many
unfortunately,
families.
are going to be
Many
echoing that sentiment. Do you believe action should be taken right now against the apartment management? Legal action should be taken against them
legal
for making you
le-
pay up almost every single month, I'm sure, a hefty maintenance. And despite that, basics not being taken care of, leading to the death of this girl now?
Yes. It was not the first time Manya got a shock. There are other kids also who already got a shock. Why were they were not proactive? It's a case of sheer negligence, and totally accountability and responsibility is of Prestige Maintenance Group. Totally, and they are
We
still not.
promise,
They are still not.
Preeti, there's been no statement from Prestige, but we promise here on India Today that we're going to ensure that we carry the story forward and seek accountability from those who are guilty of negligence, and also ensure that if anyone actually killed Manya, and I'll say killed Manya here because of what happened to her, if it was a case of electrocution, they will have to pay the price. Thanks very much, Preeti, for joining us here on India Today. The victim's neighbor, Manya's neighbor there, Preeti Kumari, who lives in the same apartment, telling us that it's not the first case of negligence that's come to light in this apartment. One of the best, really, in the city of Bengaluru. And despite multiple people flagging it up, nothing was done. Is that what's led to the death of 9-year-old Manya? We will promise to keep you abreast with all the latest on that and what the investigation throws up.